Greetings and welcome to station WDWL TV, located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard. And Grumpy Studios are located on Grumpy Old Man Road. And we're a division of Grumpy Vulture Productions. No Vulture today. He's out sitting under a sprinkler because the humidity is like, "Argh!" That's why there's no wig today. There would be so much sweat pouring off of me, you'd think I was sitting under a sprinkler. Okay, now we're going to get to Grumpy's legal, in my opinion, commentary. I read a very disturbing article this morning, and it's out of Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Now, this is about a 19-year-old who basically was out of control. His mother had called the police several times. The last time she called because he was yelling, screaming, and throwing things at her. Get this, because she refused to get him an American Express gold card. A 19-year-old. Yeah. Now, a lot of this goes back to last year. Now, she had an Audi sports coupe that he was driving. It didn't say what model, but this was a sports coupe that was capable of doing 160 miles an hour. Now, this idiot of a kid didn't know what a speed limit was. And he would basically test the limits of the car because he would screenshot pictures of the speedometer. Okay? Now, his mother had an app called, I think it's Life 360. And this basically would track him. Okay? In the months of July and August of 2023, he had screenshotted, and his mother had notifications on this 360 app of him doing 127, 143, 102, 150, and 155 miles an hour. She knew about this. And she would text him, slow down. Right. Slow down. So, does she take the keys away from him? Well, she tried once. And basically, he assaulted her and then took the keys and took off in the car. That's all she's ever did. Because she was afraid of him. Did she seek outside help? No. Now, unfortunately, the parents had gotten divorced. This was part of the thing that, made him like he is. And then, unfortunately, after the divorce, his father passed away. Now, Mom knew she couldn't control him. Not at all. She was afraid of him. She had told the police this. I'm afraid of him. So, what does she do? Instead of buying a little compact SUV, something that, doesn't go that fast. No. She trades in the Audi Sports Coupe that basically is rated top speed of 160 miles an hour for a new BMW X3 M Series. Now, anybody that knows BMW, the M Series is the high performance series. Now, this BMW X3 M Series is capable of 180 miles an hour. So instead of getting a lower horsepower performance vehicle, she gets a bigger one. That makes sense. So, in the M Series, he actually did a video. And this was backed up on this Life 360 app, where he went out and did 155 miles an hour for 20 minutes. Does Mom do something about this? No. She texts him, slow down, you're scaring me. Well, a couple of weeks ago, he picks up his good friend, someone that he's known all of his life. He's cruising through residential streets at 105 miles an hour. He loses control, hits a pole. The car splits in half. The half containing the passengers hits a tree. His lifelong buddy is DOA on the scene. Now, he's been charged with vehicular homicide, which he deserves. But the parents of the deceased child want the mother charged as well. and they are citing the recent case of the Crumblies. Now, if you don't recognize the name Crumblies, these are the parents that bought their son a high-powered weapon for his birthday. He snuck it out of the house and commenced a shooting spree in the high school, killing 4, I don't remember how many he wounded, until a teacher tackled him. Now, these parents were charged. They're serving 10 years. The parents of the deceased child want Michigan to charge the mother as well. And my opinion, yeah, she deserves it. If he goes to prison, she deserves to go too. Because instead of trying to handle the situation, even though she's afraid of her kid, there are courses she could take to get him under control. But instead of handling the problem, she goes out and buys a higher, faster performance car, knowing that he drives at speeds over 100 miles an hour. Like I say, the app clocked him at 155 for 20 minutes. Where were her brains? You know you have a problem with him in the Audi. Do you go out and buy like a little Hyundai or a little Kia? No. We go out and we buy a higher performance vehicle that goes faster. And I forgot to mention that she knew this. Because every time he was out in the car, she would get a notice that would pop up on her cell phone, this Life 360 app, and it would show her what he was doing. And instead of calling the police and saying, hey, my son is at certain location, he's doing over 100 miles an hour, no. She sends him a text message. Slow down, you're scaring me. Like he's paying attention to that. So the mother knew every point in time when he was in the vehicle and at what speeds he was going. And I feel personally, my opinion, the grumpy old man, that she deserves prison as much as he does, maybe even more. Because instead of handling the problem, she made it worse. She goes from a car that'll do 160 to a vehicle that'll do 180. I don't know what was in her head. And her son had even told her he wanted to own a car with over 600 horsepower. And she goes out and she's stepping up the ladder. Oh, well, the Audi don't go fast enough. We'll get a BMW X3 M Series. Yeah. So we go from a car that does 160 to a car that does 180. And had he not had the accident, what was she going to go like? Get a Ferrari? Lamborghini? Get a Dodge Demon? Hellcat? I don't know where her head was. She knew every minute when he was in that car where he was going and what speed he was going. And does she go out and buy a little subcompact? No. She goes out and buys a super high performance vehicle. We go from a car that does 160 to a car that does 180. And basically, like the parents of the deceased child said, I call him a child. He was 19. Young man. It was like handing him a loaded AK-47. And I agree. She could have very easily went out and got rid of that Audi sports coupe and got a low-end budget some compact Kia or Hyundai or Ford or Chevy. No. She made the situation worse. Like I say, Grumpy's opinion, one person. But I'm sure there are a lot of you out there that will agree that she is as much at fault as he is. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Have a good evening. And the next Grumpy's Legal will have the wig and the judge's coat. The humidity was just, I'm sweating right now. My earphones are full of water. But with that,